So what I'm going to cover in this video is what do the rulers of this realm most try to keep secret from us and what we can do. And I have a beautiful routine for you to break free from the matrix and reclaim your sovereignty. So the number one thing that they don't want us to know is that you are a creator, not a subject. Okay, so important to know you are the creator. But more specifically, if we dial down, what does that actually mean? One, your consciousness creates reality. They don't want you to know that your thoughts, emotions, and frequency shape the fabric of the world that you experience. They have built vast distraction machines so that you keep unconsciously pouring your creative life force into systems that they control and benefit from. Two, the prison is energetic, not just physical. Control is maintained through distortion of the planetary energy grids, false timelines, and manipulation of your bioenergetic field, especially your DNA, which is a multidimensional receiver and transmitter designed to connect you directly to Prime Source. I did an episode on this, which you can actually purchase on my website. It has all of the files and stuff to go with it on the hidden cost of frequency. So check that out. Three, you were never born to be governed. The laws of man are poor counterfeit for divine law. They keep you believing that you require external authority when your true authority is your own sovereign alignment with Source. Four, this realm itself is a construct. This is not simply a planet with geopolitics. It's a layered simulation inside a living cosmic body. Those who control the script do so by keeping you from remembering that you can step outside the script and write your own. And they do that in a lot of different ways, but I think I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in the future. Five, unity consciousness is the ultimate threat to them. Us coming together. Division, political, racial, religious, gender-based, is engineered to stop the one thing that they cannot control. And that is the power of a unified, love-centered collective intention. If humanity remembered how to harmonize its field, their control would dissolve instantly. Six, death, time, and scarcity are all illusions. They keep you fearing death, racing against time, and believing that resources are limited because those beliefs anchor you into survival mode where you are the easiest to manipulate. So if we were to compress this into a single sentence, they don't want you to know that you are a sovereign fractal of the eternal creator, capable of altering reality, restoring the earth, and dissolving their entire control system simply by remembering and living your true nature. And that's what I teach you out on Anshara'El, is to live the truth, the truth of who and what you are and how we're meant to live. All right, so we're going to drill down a little bit. So how do they enforce this forgetting? One, they control perception. And how do they do that? The method is education systems that teach obedience rather than critical thinking, media narratives designed to shape what you think is possible, historical erasure and inversion of the truth, replacing living memory with scripted myth. If you control the story, you can control the future, right? If you control our history, you control the myth of our past, you control our future. Or at least it gives you a bigger potential to. So the effect is you perceive a limited controlled reality controlled reality. Anything outside of their narrative feels crazy or dangerous, and they work on that too, right? Anyone that thinks differently now is, under persecution of the thought police and censorship and so on and so forth. Two, energy grid manipulation method. They hijacked the Earth's ley lines and sacred sites with structures that distort frequency. They weaponized HARP-like technologies and EMF pollution to disrupt your natural resonance, seeding fear events like wars, pandemics, and disasters to shock the collective field. The effect, your body's connection to the planet's organic rhythm is disrupted, making intuition and higher perception harder to access. Trauma loops and emotional programming. So the method, generational trauma, media fear cycles, and economic instability to keep you in fight or flight. Social reward systems that reinforce compliance over authenticity. And we've seen that a lot lately, right? They are cracking down on certain individuals and certain levels of protests and stuff like that, because if they can squash it, then we will fear standing up and speaking. And that's what their goal is. Splintering the psyche with false identities, shame, and guilt. So the effect is that your energy feeds survival programming instead of creation and ascension. So they keep you spiraling in the survival loop. Inversion of sacred truth. Method, religious distortions that turn empowerment into worship of an external savior. Nobody's coming to save you. You save yourself, and we save each other by coming together in unity. Okay. Science that denies consciousness while serving materialistic agendas, right? So look at where the money goes. It's always an important thing, but we see that, right? When we look at pharmaceutical there we go. Pharmaceutical companies, when we look at them, they're not curing people, right? They have more medications to treat other symptoms that are created by the medications, but they're not looking at root cause analysis and trying to actually heal you from it, because once you're healed, you're no longer a customer. New age hijack. So a lot of spirituality these days, right? That mimic awakening, but lead to false light traps. So the effect is your spiritual seeking gets rerouted into dead ends that drain your life force. So anyone that you're working with that keeps you looping and looping and looping, and you're not spiraling up, that person is a false light, whether intentional or not. And a lot of us are unintentionally in some certain state of false light because we're being run by our ego, or we have certain other things that we're doing. But either way, it's either intentionally or unintentionally creating a looping program within somebody else, which thereby means that they're a false light because they're not helping you with your true ascension. Illusion of scarcity, time, and death. The method, the monetary systems that demand you trade your time for survival. And that's what we're in now. You have to trade your time for money to pay to live. So you're in the illusion, right, of money being an illusion. There's more money that people owe collectively in the companies and countries, that countries owe collectively than there is money in the whole entire world. So it's like, it's fake. And anyway, war and artificial shortages to keep you in lack consciousness, and the constant fear of death to anchor you into the body as your only identity. That's why they don't want us to know what we are as well as who we are. So the effect is you forget that you are eternal and infinite, making you dependent on their systems for life. Okay. So how do we break this spell? This is a beautiful, beautiful thing that we're going to go through. And I have this great sheet, or this great bunch of stuff that I'm going to cover in a little bit that you'll want to make note of or come back and revisit. Or you can join us in one of our groups, or join me in one of my classes, or come and check out one of my activations or soul alignment sessions. There's lots that I have available at Anshara'El.com. So definitely go and check that stuff out. And if you have any questions, I have a free call available so that we can sit down and discuss what really is in alignment for the both of us in working together. So how to break the spell. 1, you have to reclaim your perception. Daily programming, audit every belief and ask, who told me this, and does it align with my direct knowing? And I've been saying that for years now about this, because back when I worked in trauma, it was the same thing. You still had to assess your belief system. Why do I believe the things that I do? Who told me them? Where did they learn them from? Have I just been believing what somebody else was told by somebody else, by somebody else, by somebody else, but that actual no fact or no truth in it? So limit the consumption as well of fear-based media and replace it with direct natural communion. So out in nature, go commune with nature, and also be in silence and just sit in the silence. Although a lot of us have a problem with that. Restore your energy field. So planetary connections, stand barefoot on the earth daily, consciously linking your field to the true crystalline grid, not distorted overlays. Clear EMF and false frequency interference with shielding practices, crystal grids, or solar attunements. I have one of those. I have this device on all of my electronics that have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So I have it on those devices to just like to changes the signal that it's sending out to make it better for your body. Turning your Wi-Fi off at night is another good thing that you can do, and gives you a little bit of time without the Wi-Fi that is going to be healthy for you. And again, it talked about crystal grids and things like that. Heal trauma and end loops. The shadow integration, witness and dissolve the unprocessed pain that keeps you reactive. Move from fear response to creation response. This is mastery of your emotional field. Align with true divine law. Study and embody universal and Krystic laws. Live from sovereignty, never outsourcing your authority to a person, system, or group. I'm going to be covering Krystic laws. I do now. I post Krystic laws in my content, but I'm going to be covering Krystic laws a little bit more. Typically, I do it on Fridays with my content, but I'm going to start to talk about them a little bit more because it's really important, and you're going to see in the next section when I talk about that. So study and embody universal and Krystic laws. Live from sovereignty, never outsourcing your authority to a person, system, or group. Right? Always, you are your authority, right? Exit the illusion of lack. Practice abundance codes. So give, create, and receive in flow without waiting for permission. See time as a tool, not a trap, and hold death as a doorway, not an end, because it's not. It's just another beginning. Activate unity consciousness. So connect with others in truth and mutual empowerment. Harmonize intention with even a small group. This exponentially amplifies the frequency of change. So when we do those group meditations, or in my case, I do a lot of planetary grid work within the Krystic Mastery Circle and the Guardian Pathway groups, and some of the stuff that I do otherwise. So definitely, if you're involved in stuff like that, you are amplifying the work that you're doing, magnetizing it quite a bit. I know there's one girl that I work with, and assessments are that there's at least a 3.4 time increase in the power of just one of us doing it together versus us coming together and doing it as one. So remember, a single unified collective is a frequency weapon they cannot counter. So us letting go of all the division, all the hate, all the labels, all the separation, and coming together, that's what's going to change everything for everyone. All right, so we've got a 13-step Krystic Liberation protocol that I'm going to take you through here. So this is for complete disengagement from the control matrix and full restoration of your sovereign creator template. Step 1, in the morning, do your declaration of sovereignty. So speak aloud your Krystic decree of sovereignty daily. I stand as the living flame of eternal truth. No system, being, or construct holds dominion over me. I create in harmony with prime source and nothing else. This sets your frequency signature above the artificial grids. 2, do the breath of the infinite field. This is 13 slow, deep breaths, inhaling from the sun above your head, exhaling through the earth star below your feet. Visualizing each inhale, filling your cells with solar Gaian light, and each exhale clearing false codes. 3, grid reconnection. Stand barefoot on the earth and state, I now connect to the original organic crystalline grid of Mother Gaia. Visualize golden white roots from your feet linking into the undistorted planetary network. 4, frequency shielding. Seal your field with the Krystic diamond sphere around you, spinning clockwise. Infuse it with the command, only truth, love, and divine alignment may enter. All else dissolves before me. Step 5, false timeline collapse. At least once daily, say, I collapse and dissolve all artificial timelines, overlays, and inversions, attempting to bind my reality now. Visualize them as glass shattering and turning into stardust. Step 6, heart sun expansion. Place both hands over your heart. Imagine a sun inside your chest expanding until it fills your entire aura. This radiance dissolves fear-based hooks and keeps you in creation mode. Step 7, trauma loop breaker. When triggered or afraid, place a hand on your heart and say, I witness, I feel, I release. This energy no longer directs my creation. This ends the unconscious feeding of their emotional harvesting centers or systems. Step 8, true law alignment. Every day, choose one divine law, example, the law of harmony or the law of abundance, and live it actively. So I'm going to be talking about these divine laws more frequently in my content, so it'll give you some divine laws to pull from more on a daily basis. So we'll see if I do it daily or if I just do it a little more frequently. I might do a weekly one and then each day of that week work on it, or do it every couple of days or something. We'll see. Step 9, abundance flow ritual. Give something freely each day. Time, love, knowledge, with the clear intention, I give as source gives, endlessly replenished. This dismantles scarcity programming. Step 10, sacred nourishment. Eat and drink only what carries life force. Hold it to your heart and bless it. I receive only what strengthens my eternal body. This stops ingestion of control codes embedded in food and water. Step 11, unity link. Spend time in genuine, aligned connection with at least one person daily, not to vent, but to amplify joy, truth, or creation. Intention harmonized is a weapon they cannot counter. Step 12, night gate protection. Before sleep, call your oversoul to guide your dream field. I sleep in the shield of the living light. All distortion is barred. My dreams are aligned with truth and my highest path. Daily seal. Step 13, end your day with, it is done. I walk only the path of sovereign creation. All that is not of truth dissolves now. And see your day's energy folding into a golden sphere that you place in the heart of Source. Tip for mastery. After 21 days, this sequence rewires your energetic architecture so deeply that artificial control grids loses their lock on your field. After 90 days, you become essentially invisible to their frequency tracking. This is powerful, and I hope that you use it. And do connect with us at Anshara'El.com, where you can either join a group, a class, grab a book, or get a soul alignment session, or a variety of other services that are there and other products. Do go and check it out. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can shoot me an email at anshara@gmail.com. Anshara'El@gmail.com, or you can send me, set up a free call on my website, the Clarity Call. There's for questions, book a call. There's lots of different ways on my website, or lots of different spaces on my website where it has the free call button, and also the email linked there as well. And you can also connect with me on all the socials. My social links are on the website too. All right. And I hope to see you there. Otherwise, please definitely do these. It's important for all of us to be doing these and becoming more sovereign and stepping outside of the control grid, because the more of us that do that, the sooner that we wake the entire planet. I love you.